everything might be about to change. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. It's been a crazy 24 hours. First we thought Sanderson would take a break or something seriously was wrong, and then we learned that Sanderson is not a human. I know everyone is going crazy at the moment making memes and talking about Sanderson being a robot or not being a human for being able to write so much. And in my opinion, if you ask me, then yes, I'm pretty confident that he is a robot. That man is able to write faster than I can read. Now why is everyone going crazy? Well, Sanderson announced yesterday that he had written 5 additional books in secret and no one knew anything about this. 5 books! And obviously everyone is going mad because it's Sanderson. Sanderson's popularity is unrivaled. At the point of recording this video, the Kickstarter has reached over $14 million. When did fancy book readers get so much money?
I'm broke.
However, while everyone is going crazy, I am suspecting that Tor and Goland, Sanderson's publishers, might not be over the moon over this news. And why do I say this? I do not have any evidence to back this up, but there are many reasons for these publishers and other publishers to be concerned. Let's talk about it. Firstly, we have the issues that what having a publisher brings. Now let me explain. If you have never published a book before, then a publisher will give you that boost that you will need. Most publishing houses will help you improve your book, spend lots of money on marketing, etc. But what happens when you reach another level of popularity? Here is where the problems start to arise. You see, publishing houses do not only focus on one author. All publishing houses have contracts with lots of authors, which means that they have to divide their attention between multiple authors. Now, that is usually a great thing for us readers since that is bringing new voices to the stage. However, why would Sanderson care about his so-called competitors? Well, he shouldn't. Sanderson, as any author would be, is most interested in selling more books and reaching more new readers. So Sanderson already knows that his publishers will never give him the attention that he needs to get world domination. It is simply not possible for publishing houses, and it wouldn't be fair to expect them to only focus on Sanderson. Tor can't become a Sanderson-only promoter, obviously. So is it fair for Sanderson to expect his publishers to do more for him? Probably not, but who really cares if it's fair?
No one cares.
And I'm not only speculating now. We know for a fact that his publishers do not bring him the most marketing. At least not online. If we only scroll through, for example, Tor's Instagram page, then we will barely find any posts about Sanderson, which isn't a huge surprise. Tor is a huge publishing firm and they have a lot of authors that they also need to promote. However, for an author like Sanderson, this isn't good enough, and that is why he started YouTube. This is his own channel that he runs and it's been a huge success. He currently has more than 300,000 subscribers and he has gained millions of views on his videos. Do you start to see the problem? Sanderson could theoretically just rely on his publishers promoting him, which is fine, or he can do his own thing and reach a staggering growth. And that leads me to the next issue, money. It shouldn't come to anyone's surprise that money is absolutely vital, and Sanderson knows that he probably could do better. And I know it's nearly ludicrous to talk about Sanderson doing better, but hear me out. When you make a deal with a publisher, then you agree with the publisher that they will earn a percentage of each book sold, or something like that. I do not know the exact ins and outs of the publishing world, but I know for a fact that Sanderson, he doesn't get 100% of the profits. And for most authors, giving your publishers a percentage of your earnings is fair, since they help you with marketing, etc. But does Sanderson really need a publisher? Let me make it clear, I'm just speculating, but there's a lot of evidence that Sanderson doesn't need a publisher anymore. Being an independent author is a totally viable option, and we know this from seeing what kind of success some other authors have reached by going independent. For example, L.J. Ross has sold more than 4.5 million copies of Holy Island, and that book is 100% self-published. If we take a look at successful fantasy indie authors, then we have Will White, who stated on his website in 2019 that he had sold over 1 million copies, and that number is probably much higher now. And the good news is that these independent authors do not have to pay a publisher anything. Obviously, they still incur expenses and some risks, but when you have reached a certain level of popularity, the benefits start to outweigh the costs. That being said, having a publisher usually gives you direct access to your book being sold on loads of book chains, and that is one of the key reasons why authors usually choose their publishers, because it guarantees that your book will be sold almost everywhere. However, due to Sanderson's popularity, I don't think it would be a problem for him to get his books into bookstores. Also, I don't believe that most readers are loyal to publishing houses. I didn't even start to notice who the publishers were before I started book blogging. Readers are more loyal to the author, not the publishing house. If Sanderson goes to another publisher, then he will take his readers with him. And that is what is scary for publishing houses, because that means that the authors, especially big authors, have a lot of power and influence. I mean, a lot. Now, can Sanderson go independent and do well? Well, the answer to that is pretty obvious. Every time that man asks for your money, you throw your whole life savings at him, and I totally understand why. Sanderson has created the perfect storm. His books are fantastic and is able to connect with his readers in a way that is almost unheard of. I feel, and I believe most of you almost feel like you know Sanderson because of his YouTube videos. He's almost like a distant relative or a friend or your father. Okay, maybe not your father, but you know what I mean. Sanderson has been able to connect with readers in a way that no one else that I know of has been able to do. Secondly, Sanderson is already kinda going the indie route. He has his own store where you can buy merch. He has made leather bounds of some of his books, and now he's publishing 4 books through his own publishing firm. And when you see the amount of money he's able to make by doing that himself, you start to notice something. Sanderson is perfectly able to write, publish and market his books in a way that a publisher never would be able to, at least in the current state. And he can earn so much more money by just doing it by himself. Also, having a publisher does limit you. A publisher can basically make a lot of important decisions for you, such as which cover art you have or when the book needs to be published. By going the indie route, Sanderson can do whatever he wants with his books. If he wants to add Daniel Green to the cover of his next book, then he can. If he wants to publish 5 books at the same time, then he can. No one can tell him what to do with his own books, and that must be an attractive thought for an author like Sanderson. So, will Sanderson be going 100% independent in the future? Well, it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Sanderson is able to earn more money, get more creative control, and do the marketing better by himself. I am predicting that Sanderson is going to fundamentally change how publishing works. Publishing firms are being forced to rethink their approach to a lot of different areas. Are publishing firms going to become obsolete? No, probably not. Publishing houses are fantastic for bringing new voices to the scene and raising awareness of new books. However, I am expecting that bigger authors will increasingly start doing things that Sanderson does. Maybe we'll see Stephen King on TikTok next? Who knows? What do you guys think? Do you think publishing houses are worried about Sanderson's Kickstarter? Do you think that Sanderson will go fully independent one day? I would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for your support. I really appreciate it.